Hello, my name is Ryan Massey, and this is a presentation for COM 616, Communicating Mindfully. Our topic today is the dialectic of direction and change, which is from chapter 10 of our textbook. To understand the dialectic of direction and change, it's important to know a little bit about business professional ethics. Business and professional ethics involve core values. Core values are an organization's essential and enduring tenets. Jim Collins and Jerry Porras tell us in their best-selling book, Built to Last: Successful Habits of Visionary Companies, that it's important to have a plan and be ready to change it the very moment that plan no longer meets necessary objectives and goals. To keep a company going requires attention to the ongoing dialectic of direction and change, which is according to our textbook by Arnett, Fritz, and Bell. So what is the dialectic of direction and change? The dialectic of direction and change is the willingness to follow a particular path with the courage to move in a different direction when necessary. Commitment to direction and change assumes that the presumptuous belief that a given place will exist for all time is dangerous. So basically what it's saying is if companies aren't able to change and evolve and learn, then it's very dangerous for that company to stay in the status quo because they may not be able to survive while all the other companies and their competitors are evolving. At the forefront of this is leadership. Leaders identify change as an opportunity, not as a dilemma. They attack things heads on. This is a good quote that I found that kind of sums that up. The pessimist complains about the wind, the optimist expects it to change, and the leader adjusts the sails. So basically, what it's saying is leaders don't wait for things to change, and it's the same thing when it comes to organizations. If they want to grow, they have to be led by somebody that's willing to do so. And in my I found from the movie Moneyball, which is a great film, it portrays this perfectly. And I'll kind of talk about the scene before you look at it. Basically, Billy Beane is the owner of the Oakland Athletics, and his team is not very successful. They're in last place, and when he acquires a team, and they're not really sure how to get themselves to the top. So basically, Peter Grant, who's played by Jonah Hill, Billy Beane is played by Brad Pitt, so that's always good. He talks to Billy Beane in this scene, Jonah Hill playing Peter Grant, like I mentioned, and he opens his mind up on using analytics instead of the same old, what he calls medieval thinking, to acquire baseball players. When Beane introduced it, the Athletics went from worst to first, and they changed the entire organization 100%. This also eventually led to the entire major leagues being changed because now about 90% of major league teams use analytics instead of the old scouting way that they used to do. And it's completely changed sports because a lot of other sports teams, football, basketball, they'll use this as well. And it has been known in some sports, such as basketball, to maybe, well, it's criticized, but it can still be successful. And I think baseball is a great example of that. And that's kind of how baseball teams acquire players these days. And if you look at a great example of that, besides the Oakland A's, from where this clip is from, the Chicago Cubs, who won the World Series this year, they are huge users of analytics, and it's something that baseball teams in particular have taken advantage of. And as you see with the Cubs, it brought them a world championship. So take a look at the YouTube link here from Moneyball and enjoy. I think it's a great example of this. And thank you very much.